Hey guys, it's Vanessa from Games and Me. I just finished playing a little bit of Rock Band 2 and Guitar Hero World Tour, and I wanted to give you my first impressions on it. I can't help to compare and contrast them a little bit since I kind of, played them at the same time and they're sort of similar games. So bear with me. One of the first things I noticed, which is kind of interesting, is that the song selection, it kind of overlaps a little bit between the two games, but I mean, I'm a special case. Not too many people are going to be buying both games at the same time. So this overlap is not a problem, don't worry about that. But even though there's some overlap, the song selection seems to be a little different, like a little split in my opinion. But maybe you guys can help me out. Is it because I'm too young or I have a good or bad taste in music? But I seem to know almost every single song in Rock Band, but hardly any song in Guitar Hero. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe Rock Band might be geared toward a more widespread audience, more mainstream, because they seem to have some really current songs, very recent songs, and even like a lot of, I don't want to say pop, but more pop-ish type songs than Guitar Hero, like, songs you'd hear on the radio and stuff more often. And Guitar Hero seems to have more of the classic rock and slightly older rock, as in pre-2000s. And so I was just wondering if maybe Guitar Hero is a bit more hardcore. And I don't just mean in terms of song selection, I also mean in like the actual gameplay itself. It seems like Guitar Hero might be a little bit more difficult than Rock Band because I played Eye of the Tiger on medium in both games just to see how it compares. And I would say that Guitar Hero was a lot harder than Rock Band. Maybe not a lot harder, but it was more difficult because I'd say, let's see, Guitar Hero was definitely more involved in the guitar track. You hardly ever just sat there without pressing anything, and when I believe there are two guitars or more playing in that song, and when one guitar isn't playing, you're playing the other guitar's notes. So, it's doing that rhythmic da 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 da, and then you switch to the da 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 da. Da, 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 da. You don't just sit there and wait for the next part to pick up. And as far as Rock Band's version goes, it was very similar, almost the same exact notes. It's just shifted a little, except that you didn't seem to pick up on the more subtle, harder to hear notes as much. You kind of just stuck with one track, the main melody. And you did a little bit of the other stuff, but it wasn't like all the time you had to be pressing the notes. It seemed like it was kind of between Guitar Hero's easy and medium. I'm just wondering if maybe you guys think like one of them is more for, everyday people. Like I could totally give my mom Rock Band and she might enjoy it, but I think she might give up on Guitar Hero. So that was just some weird thing I noticed. Might be wrong, might be right, who knows. Just let me know what you think about that. Another thing that I thought was interesting as far as that goes is that it seems like in Guitar Hero the vocals are more sensitive, like the mic picking up your vocals is more sensitive, because when I was singing that song in Rock Band, I hit almost every note. I got like, I think 98% or something. And, well, I know the song, so that's kind of easier to achieve. But in Guitar Hero, I got a little bit of a lower score because I noticed that when I was holding those notes in Rock Band, it just stayed straight But then when I was holding the notes in Guitar Hero, it's kind of wavering a little bit because, you know, I'm a terrible singer, so I obviously would not get a 98% in real life singing. So I'm wondering if, like, maybe Guitar Hero is a little bit more realistic in terms of telling me how bad I am at singing. And other than gameplay, the visual styles are pretty interesting. They're a little bit different in each game. They both have this real rock type feel to them, and I love their interfaces in both of them. Like, Rock Band has this whole swirly psychedelic tentacle thing going on, and Guitar Hero has this more punk underground, you know, mashup type feel to it. And also, like, the characters are different too, like the settings and everything. It seemed like Rock Band was a little bit more realistic, and Guitar Hero was a bit more cartoony, a bit more humorous. They had some pretty humorous locations and events that happen. Like, you can play at a frat, and the frat banner catches on fire halfway through your show, and I thought that was pretty funny. Rock Band seemed to have more of the cool factor going on with their locations. Like, you're standing in front of a whole bunch of TVs on a wall, and it was pretty cool. Both of them, I like both of them for different reasons. And I so, I mean, it's totally up to your opinion which one you like better. But I personally think at the moment that I like Rock Band a little bit better as far as visual style goes. Just because, actually, it's probably because you can make your own character, and I like to make my character look a certain way, and that's better achieved through Rock Band. But otherwise, they both look fairly similar to the older versions. It's not like a giant leap in visuals, but I mean, that's not what you play the game for anyway. It's just a really great mood setter, and both of them do it equally well, I think, just in different ways. So, I don't know which one I would recommend right now. I need to play a lot more of it. Just got started, and hopefully we can be having some Rock Band parties over here pretty soon. I hope Sunday when we do our live.gamesend.me show that we'll be having a Rock Band party there. So join us, and maybe you'll get to join in. Well, I will see you next time.